Hello everyone, welcome once again to the African Tech Gurus. This is your channel where learning is by doing. Today we have been talking about the structures. As in the previous video, we have discussed the content of this particular task that we are doing today. So this is another episode or another video that I'm taking you through the task. And before that, let me have a look at the quiz. So for the quiz here, guys, let me show the quiz and then I take you through. So for the quiz, we have question number 0. You've been given that given this code. This is the code I've been given, guys. That struct this point, this one, int x, int y. Then that code is closed like that. Okay, this is a structure which has been this structure created, and then it has two elements, that is the int y and int x. Those are the member elements of this particular structure. And then here struct point my point is equals this one. Okay, this one at this point, what this person is doing is that is creating a variable of structure of this particular structure. And at this point we say that, guys, a structure is a collection of items of different data type. For example, you can have integer values, character values, and maybe even arrays if possible. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but now let's talk about that. Being this kind of a structure, it has two members, which is all of them are integers. And then this person has declared a variable which is of type struct and has given two values, that is 3 and 7. 3 is the value of x and 7 is the value of y. Then here this person has come and declared another variable which is of type, which is of p, which is a pointer. In this case, it is a pointer to the structure. It's a pointer, and then what does this person say? Say that my point, which means that this particular pointer here, or this particular variable, is pointing to a variable called my point, which is this one above here, guys. So let me zoom a bit. Yes, I believe that one is okay. All right. So then you have been asked to set the member of my variable point, this one 98. I can do all the following answers. By all I can do select all valid answers. So guys, I will just come at this particular point here, and then I will say I will create. So there are 3 different ways we mentioned yesterday. One is that how do we assess a structure or the element of a structure? One, that variable that we have created, my point in this case, that is my point, and then we use a dot. Now the element name. What is the element name? The element name we are going to do is the element name of y. So we assess dot y, which is the second integer, and then we are giving a value to that particular number to be 98. So this can be one of the ways. This one also can be as well written as, remember that pointer p is pointing to that particular variable, so we can stay as well as say a bracket of this one and then a pointer p, then close this one dot y. I believe you still remember what we did yesterday. We saw this one in the content. If you have not watched the content, please go back and watch the content review of this particular video where we explain each and every concept. Okay, I know some of you might be seeing this one as something new, but if you watch the content, it will be easy for you to understand what I'm doing. And then this one is equals to 98. This is one of the ways. And then number 2, this one here can as well be written as this one p, and then this one, this is what we did yesterday. This is what we did in the previous video. I'm sorry, here 98 that is equals to 98, like that. That's another way. Another different way is we're having another different way, which we can also say that if we are to say, if you are okay, this is okay. This is what I mean. These are okay. So these are the different ways. This one is using the variable itself dot the element, and then this one is using the pointer, and then at the same time these are with the pointer p here. but the rest are now with the element itself, the variable itself, which is this at the upper side. Yeah. So that is so that's why the answer is this one, and this one. They are all three methods we saw yesterday. Go to the previous video and watch that one. So those codes of these two codes of the same thing. Yes, they say that these two codes are of the same thing. Why do we say so? Why do we say that these particular two codes are the same? Are they true? Are they the same? True or false? They are true. Why? Because they are both to the point. This one, they all describe the point. Let me explain more. So as I say that one of the reasons is that they define the struct name point. As you can see here, we have it here. All of them are describing the struct point here. That is one of the way. That's why we say that they are the same. And then with two integers, that is both x and y, and declare and initialize a variable p of this struct with two values, that is 1 and 2, which is 1 and 2 here, and then also here 1 and 2. It's only the order has changed. Here has changed, that is y has come before x. And then okay, the only difference is that the second initialization of the p in the field values are explicitly named using the designated initializer syntax, whereas the first initialization in this case we can say that they are implicitly assigned based on their order in the struct definition. So this one is only the order in which they have been placed is different from this one, but they are all the same. So the answer is true. So you write a documentation of all structures you create. Okay, this is not much on explanation, but this is true. You need to write any documentation. That is the documentation. You have to give a comment. Documentation like a comment, trying to explain each one of each and every part of that particular code means. For example, if I write this particular code here at the top here, I have to define what is this one, and I write this one. Then what does it do? I explain this one. I explain this one. That's a explain each and every part. That is true. And then as well as soon as I write my structure, when I finish my structure, I have to explain so that if I come back next time, I will not be confused of what I've done before, what I did before. Then come to general syntax. What did you say the general syntax of having the general syntax for having structure? We say that it must have the keyword. We said yesterday in the previous video, keyword. It must have the tagline like this. Sorry. It must have the tagline, and then inside it must give us the members. So we can have member 1 and we can have member 2. So it must have members, and then we close this one now. So from there now you can declare your variables. You can declare as many variables as you want, as long as you have okay, future members. You can now from outside here you can come and say keyword, which is a keyword for that, and then tagline of that particular structure, and then the variable name we can call it variable a, and then we can assign values. We can say assign values to be for member 1 we give it let's say 5, for member 2 we give it 10, like that. So at this point we have given the structure, that is like this one, and then the members, and then we close and we clear variable. Okay, this one is not necessary for this question, but this one is how it look like. So I have the keyword, which is struct, the tagline, that's tag name, then the tag type of type, that is the type, that's the data type of the particular member, and data type of member 2, and then the member name. And then at that point, as we will say true. All right, we are done with that, guys. Let's now get into the task. Task number 1, or task number 0, I'm sorry. So it says Bobby. Task number 0 is Bobby. It says that define the new type structure with the following arguments: name, that is of type car, age, that is of type float, and owner, which is of type car. So guys, I have a code here which will solve question 1 and question 3, but I will show you how it works. So this particular code here, I will be having let me create this file, and then I will explain to you. Task 0. Let me come here. So first of all, to create this particular task, I will be using this particular directory here. So let me copy this directory and create. So I'll come here and say mkdir. Or first of all, where am I? I believe I'm in the right place. pwd. Yes, I'm in ALX Law Programming repository. So now let's say mkdir, that is to make the repository, and what is the repository name? In this case, I will paste here, and I have it like that. So when I list file, you'll notice that I have a repository like this one. So let me get into inside that particular repository. So not repository, directory, cd, and then get into that particular directory, paste. So like that. Sorry. So let me increase the font so that it will be visible. Sorry for that. Yes. So now we are okay. So now at this point we have in a particular directory called this one. So what next? We first have to create the readme file. Remember that, guys, don't forget. So vi the readme me.md, that is the thing, then enter. Then at this point I click I to go to insert mode, and at this point now I want to I will just use this particular name here. I'll just use this one as the I'll just use this one as the readme, because it has not to be empty, so I can just use it like that. I don't need a lot of things there. So WQ to quit, like that. So I am outside now, and I've listed. You can see that I have now readme file. So what next, guys? What are we supposed to do next? Well, let's check on the requirements. On the requirements, we've been told that I'll have to create. I'm supposed to use print malloc free, and this I'm allowed to use that. Then header files included this one. Okay, all right. So let me come to this particular. Let me hide this quiz. Hide. So let me come to this particular task, number 1. So first of all, let me create a main.c file. So I'll come here and say vi 0-main.c file, enter. Then I click I to go to insert mode, and then I will just copy here, guys. I'll just copy this one. You're allowed to copy this one. I'll copy this one up to what end? Up to this end here, up to this end. Then I click on copy. I create main.c.file. Then after I've copied that one, I click on escape key on my keyboard, and then full colon, and then WQ, and then I click enter. So that one is easy. And then so let's come to the second one. So the second file to create will be what is the second file to create? It will be the file that will define a new struct dog with the following elements. So and then which file are we using? We're using dog.h. So I will come here, guys, and say vi dog.h. Then I click enter. So at this point we have dog.h. So let me explain to you. This is the file that contain dog.h. But this one, guys, you have this particular the way of defining the dog. Then these are the comments, or that what the documentation of this particular structure which I'm creating here. This is my structure that I'm being told to define. On this particular structure, I'm able to say that struct dog, which is this one, and I'm explaining it's a new type of describing a dog. And then name, which is the member of that particular structure, name, and I'm saying the name of the dog. And then age, the age of the dog, and owner, and then the owner. And then you have noticed here, guys, you have been asked, what you have been asked is that because name to be of type car, and what you will see is that car name. So a member of the structure dog is as a member called character name, which is of type car. And you see that is like that. Then I'm saying age. Age you have been told to be float. Now I say I'm saying float, then age, this one. Then owner to be of car. So I say owner, then of car. So at that point I'm done with this particular one. And then I have explained it here. So guys, you will see something here you may not understand for now, but this one is for question 3. This one is for question 3. So in question 3 again, what have you been asked? Let me open question 3 so that I will answer 2 of them at once. So question 3 or task 3, we told also the dog a book is best friend inside the two dog read. So in this, define a dog T with a new name of type struct dog. So we are a new type dog T. So that's why you're seeing that I'm having this one dog T. and then I'm coming to say typedef, this one, and then struct dog.t, this one. I'm defining now a new type as a new name of the type of struct dog. So that is why you're seeing this one, guys. That's the reason as why you're seeing this particular code up to this end. So this is for question number 3. So I'm been told to clear that one. So typedef struct, the structure name, then dog.t, like that. All right, guys. Now, and then you are seeing something like this one also. Void this one, and then void this one, and void this one, and void this one. What do you think they are? Let's get and see. Number 1, this one, dog.int, this one is a prototype of task 1. It is the prototype of this task 1. This one here, guys. This is the same as this one. I just copied this one and I put it here, guys, like this. Then I come to this other end. Guys, and then task number 2 here. You notice that it has a prototype like this one. This is a prototype, this one. And then you notice that I place it as the second one like this. And then number 3, that is task number 3, has no prototype. So task number 4 has this particular kind of prototype like this here, guys. And that is why I have it as here. And then the last one, that is task number 5, it has a prototype like this, which I've copied and have it here, guys. And then the end of that particular document. So at this point, I will have solved task number 1 and task number 3. So guys, let's now copy this particular code. Now that I've explained to you what it does, let's copy this particular code like this up to this end, Then I click here, copy. Then I escape key on my keyboard, :WQ, enter. So at that point, I am done with that one. So guys, I will not push at this point. I will not be pushing my code. So I will push them at the end of this recording so that I will not take much of your time. So I will push them at the end of this recording. So we are done with task number 1. Task number 0, I'm sorry. So let's get into task number 1. What is task number 1 saying, guys? Task number 1, it says that write a function that initialize a variable of type struct dog. So we are supposed to create. So first of all, you create one main.c. So okay, let me run this GCC. Copy here. So list file. You notice that we have I run this file. You have this one, a.exe. So let's check what is inside. A.exe. It says my name is Poppy and I am 3.5. This one. This is the expected output, guys. It is now fine. This is the expected output. As you can see here, we have been told that we are expecting our output of this kind, and that is what we got here. So we are done with that. Let's check to task number 1. Now write a function that initializes a variable of type struct. So we have been given this one. Remember, this, guys, is a function we have been given. So we are using this particular function to initialize this one. So first of all, let's just create one main.c. So vi1-main.c. This is what will help us to be able to run that GCC. So I click I to go to insert mode, and then I will copy this particular kind of code here, guys. I'll copy this code up to this end here. Then I click on copy. Then I click here. Where is it? Here. Then I click on paste. So I have that one, and then I escape key :WQ. Then I'm at that point. So I'm done with the w main.c. What next, guys? I'm supposed to create this particular file. So I'll copied. Then I come here, say vi. I create that file name. I'll create that file name like this. Then I click enter. So I click I to go to insert mode, guys. And then I have my code here. Task number 1. Yes, I have a code here. I will explain to you. So in this particular code here, guys, this is the libraries, that is dog.h, that is the file that we created, that is this particular file is referring to. And then we have std lib.h, there's another library, which I believe you know what it means. And if you don't, please do a research about this one. Yes. And then here we come, guys. We are having this particular documentation here that tries to explain what this function is, whereby say init dog, this one, which say initialize a variable of type dog, the struct dog. So it is a function here, guys. We are having here, this is the function name. Remember, function must have the return type and the function name and the arguments. All what you're having inside here is what you call the arguments. So this particular function has the init dog, that is the name, and as struct dog, the car name, float age, and car owner. These are what we refer them as elements. So we have to define each and every element. We have D as element, name as element, age as element, owner as element. So dog is the dog to be initialized. Then name is the name of that dog, the age of that dog, the owner of that particular dog. Then you are using this particular function, guys, which means that if D is equal to null, meaning that if that initialization, sorry, what I'm saying, guys, is that this particular D, it check if it's null, meaning that is it null, meaning that has it been allocated. Then in as far as null, what it does is that it allocates. What it is doing actually is that it's like saying whatever you are getting from the function. Remember, the function is you are getting from the int main. From the int main here, you are seeing that this person has said struct dog, that is the structure, and then has defined a variable called my dog. And then in this my dog, you are getting that this person has also called a function init dog, and then my dog, which is this one here, guys, here, and then has given a Bobby 3.5 and Bob. So what happened is that this user has given these particular values. These values is now taken, these values, this code takes this value from the user, which is we have Bobby like this, we have age to be 3.5, and then we have also the name, the owner, that is Bob. So we have these values, guys, here. It is being taken here as argument. So argument number 1, that's the character name, we have been given to Bobby. 3.5 is the age, we have been given to that, and then Bob is the owner, we have given like that. And then this one now here, guys, is what we have been given here as my dog, which is a pointer pointing to my dog variable. I believe you are getting what I'm saying. So it gets this data in the function. After calling the function and giving the argument, function collect those information. After collecting those information, it's now use the particular information, that particular data, to feed into each and every element of the structure, which means that this is a structure, then accessing to the name element or name member of the structure and give the name, which is the name from the function here. And what is the name from the function? It is Bobby. And then we have the D here, which assess the age element of the structure. What's the structure name? The structure name you are having is struct dog. So it assesses and then they get the age from the function here, age, which is 3.5, and then allocate to that particular member of that particular structure. Then the owner the same, and then that's how this particular code do. Now, guys, I'll just copy the code so that I'll not waste my time. I believe I've explained to you what this code do. Copy, then I come here, paste, then escape key W full colon WQ, enter. So guys, now next, guys, what are we supposed to do next? We are supposed to do next call the the GCC. Come here, paste, enter. Yes, so list file, I have b.exe. So I have b, I'll say like this, b.exe, then I click on enter. So you say that my name is Bobby and I am 3.5. This one, is it the same as what we have been told? Yes, it is the same. So we are done with that, guys. Let's proceed the next task. That is task number 2. In task number 2, you have been told write a function that prints struct dog, prototype void print dog, this one. Then we have to, these are function. Then remember, one of what it does is that it gets the input or the parameters from the user or from this particular code here. These what are the parameters? Struct my dog here, and then my dog.name is equals to Bobby. My dog.a3.5, my dog.owner Bob. Then print my dog here and give my dog, meaning that what this variable, which is my dog here, contain all this. It's the same as what I did previously, guys. It's the same as task number 1. It is getting from the user, that is getting the name, the age, and the owner from the user, and having them into the. Okay, let me show you. Let me do it. Let me show you the code. Before I do the code, let me just create a toMain.c file. So I'll say vi2-main.c, like that. Enter, guys. I to insert mode. Then at that point, let me copy this particular code. Copy. Then I click on paste. Then escape WQ, like that. So I've created that particular file. So now let's come to the creating this particular other file for task number 2. So I'll click on copy, click on vi, the task name, which will be like this, guys. Then I'll say the code. The code is that it is here. Task number 2. I'll explain the code. So what happened is that it gets the code from the user, which is in this particular code here. It gets from this particular code here, which is we have the name, age, and owner. So it's getting all those parameters here. And then this is the function that is being called. What is the function? The function is this one. The function is what we have been here. We have the function, which at this point we have described the documentation of it, what it does. We have said that print the struct dog. What does that function is that it prints. So it receives only one argument, that is D. So I come and say if D is equal to null, return. If D, then if it's equal to none, then return. So what happened is that you have to assign the D name is equal to null, print the name, this particular name, and then say nil. That's what it happens. Else, if it's not null, what you do, you assign that what you are having here, and then you assign and then you print that name, this one, with D name. D name is what you are having here. Whatever you get from the user, that is D here. Whatever you get from the user, D is a pointer pointing to a certain variable. It's pointing to a certain variable, which is of a structure, I believe so. Where is it? My struct D. Yes, this one is pointing to a variable my dog. So wherever it's pointing is that it's able to assess the values of that particular variable. So it assesses the value, that is the name, or the member assesses the name, age, and owner. So now it assesses the name and then have that name printed here. That's why you're using this D name. Then you check the age. Is age less than 0? If it's less than 0, say age is equals to nil. What will print is age is equals to nil. If it's not less than 0, what does it print? That particular age that you get from the user, and then with this f, that is percentage f, that is format specifier for float, and then D age, which is D, which is pointed to a variable called my dog, and access a member called age, and then give that age. The same case the owner. That is like that. That is how the code works. And then it assesses those one and then it print. So what this particular code is that it print the struct dog. So let me copy this code like this up to this end. Copy. Escape WQ. Okay. So let's run our GCC, guys. GCC. Copy. Okay, now let's get and see what we have hit here. A list file. Then c.exe. Enter. So you have name Bobby 3.5 float owner Bob. Are we expect to have that one? Yes, this is the expected answer. So guys, let's proceed to the next task. That's task number 3. Task number 3 is what we have solved. We solved task number 3 in task number 1. When we were doing task number 0, we solved task number 3, guys. So it's the same thing. What I think I explained to you. Now let's proceed to task number 4. Task number 4, guys, a dog is what dog is perpetually on wrong side. Hey, Write a function that creates a new dog. It creates a new dog. There's a function here that creates a new dog. This is the function dog t. This is of type dog t, but the function name is this one, the new dog. Okay, the character, this is the parameter number one, that's the name of the dog, the age of the dog, and the owner of that particular dog. So you have to store the copy of the name and the owner. What you are only storing is the copy of the name of the dog and the owner of that particular dog. So guys, let's create a for main.c file. Sorry. So I will say vi for-main.c, then I click on, for-main.c, then enter. I click I to go to insert mode, guys. Then I'll copy this particular code. Have this end here. Then I click on copy, come here, paste, like that. So I'm done with that code. Then escape. All right, so now let's create the file name. This is the file name, which is vi, and then that particular file name. So I to insert mode. Then before I have the code, let me explain to you task number 4. In this task number 4, guys, it's a long code, but I will explain. So in this case, we are having 3 functions. 1 is the installing, 2 is str copy, 3 is dog t new dog. This is what you're having. These are different types of functions that create the destination and the source. This is the str, the string, that's the string length. All right, guys, this is the documentation of each and every function. This is describing this function, that is the length, int length to be 0, while str this plus, then length this one, you increment the length and increment also the str this one, and then return the length. Then this one also, guys, is a documentation for this particular function here. I will not go much into this. I will just explain the new dog variable function here, which is a documentation here up to here, the documentation, and then the dog new this one. Now this is what I need. So dog t, then dogo or dogo, whatever here, which this one, which is the pointer pointing to a variable. Okay, now let's check this particular function. It has 3 arguments: the name, the age, and the owner of that particular dog. That it has those particular 3 names. So as we say that it checks the name of that, it has the name, the owner, and the age of that particular dog. All right, now that you see that I've seen that that if the name is null and age is less than 0 and the owner is null, what it does is that it returns null, meaning that there is no information about a dog, so it returns null. So and then from there, now it have that particular variable that is a pointer, and then is equals to malloc the size of the dog t, which is the size of this particular here dog t here. It takes the size of that particular dog t, and then you say the dog is null, return null again. If it is null, meaning that there's nothing in it, return null again. So I come to this particular point again, dog, this name is equals to malloc size of character, and then sterling plus 1. So that's what it does. Then if doggo name is equals to null, if it is null, meaning that there's nothing in it, what it does is that free doggo. Now that we have to free what the malloc, okay, we are freeing the memory, yeah? That's free, that's why you say free doggo. Then return this one. Then now that was now for the size of dog t. Then let's talk about the owner of this. We have talked about the name, the same case with the owner, we free again, and then the age here. Then return that doggo, that is the new dog information, that is the name and the owner of that particular dog. That's what we have to store. All right, and now copy. copy. Is it? It ends here. So copy. Then I come here and I paste it here. Then what's next? I run the GCC. I will run the GCC, guys. Copy. Then list file. Then dot slash, that is e.exe. Enter. You see, this is what you're having, this one. All right, we are having this one. Are we supposed to have like this? Yes, we're supposed to have like that. Let's get the last one. That is task number 5. Write a function that frees the dogs, that free all the dogs. Write a function. So let's create 5. So vi 5-main.c. Enter. Then I'll come at this point, I copy this particular here. Copy. Then paste. Then I'll come now to create the file name here. I'll create the file name. This is 5 free dog. So vi, the name of that particular file here, guys. Then enter. So I to code in insert mode. Now before I copy the code, let me come here to explain to you what the code does. So in this particular code, as you can see, it's as short as this one. You just remember you created here, guys. You created the name of the dog and the owner of the dog. Remember you create some size, use some memory here. But at this point, you have been told to free. So what you are doing, guys, is a function here. Just here is the documentation of the function here. I hope you understand. At this point, you are able to understand. The free dog, free dogs. D is the dog to be freed, meaning that the argument here. Then if dog is null, is return that null. Then what happened? You free all dogs. Free dog owner, free dog name, free D. That's what it does. That's what you have been asked to do. You free all of them. Copy, have it, paste, like that. So at this point, guys, we are done with this particular task. So now, guys, I will push my code to the GitHub. So let's say git add, right, git commit say files structures. We say file structures. Okay, then say git push. All right, I've pushed all my code to the GitHub, so I am done with that code, guys. Hope you enjoyed this particular video. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and even refer your friend. Bye bye. See you in the next video.